Hey everyone, I hope you've had a great day so far and that you're doing well. For this video, we're still continuing through our retrospective unbagging and review of the weekly Imperium magazine, which is obviously finished. So here we have issue number 5 of Imperium, and there will be some included gaming materials and hobby materials. Probably more so hobby materials, but there's a little bit of extra. I'll also include, because I forgot in the previous retrospective for issue 4, there were some additional hobby materials provided through the subscription. So I'll have a quick look at those as well. Anyway, Imperium issue number 5. What did we have here? So for number 5, so we have a image of what I assume is a Primaris captain. In terms of the hobby materials, we will get the Primaris captain as a mini to build. In terms of the actual issue itself, there's some information about the Primaris captains, more information about Space Marine chapters, and then the playthrough will most likely contain 1 or 2 turns worth of the Primaris captain. So in terms of the quick content summary, so information about the Primaris captain, we do have some various lore information, Space Marines, war zones, some stories in the Necrons, how to put the Primaris captain together, how to paint the Primaris captain, and then the playthrough for rallying the troops. So here we have the Primaris captain, quick rundown of the war gear, so mastercrafted power sword, a plasma pistol, an Imperial laurel, which quite possibly probably functions as a iron halo, and then just some other tidbits in terms of honor badges and things like that. This is very cool. And then some information that you can use going into the lore, tools of war, so more information about the Space Marines, some of their close combat weapons, things like that. The war zone for Warhammer, which I believe there was an insert a few issues ago about. So a bit of information on that. I'll just move this up ever so slightly. Some story information. Heart of the Storm. Looks to be Chaos Space Marine and I dare say normal Space Marine. Without reading it, I cannot confirm what chapters. Here we go. Fulminators and the Crimson Slaughter, so probably 2 non-first founding chapters. Anyway, how to build the Primaris captain, going through the various steps. It's interesting how we have a little bit about the mold line remover, because that actually was one of the items included with issue 4, at least for me it was. Otherwise, build steps to Primaris captain. How to paint. So previously we were given a wonderful bottle of Macragge blue, though it does appear that they've done a black undercoat of some sort. So definitely doing a bit of the painting with what paints were available at the time. So it'll be Macragge blue and the lead belt job. And then moving into the actual playthrough, rallying the troops. So we've got the Primaris captain, the Scorpic destroyers are still back. So in terms of the actual setup, it was the Primaris captain and the destroyers, which is interesting. I would have thought it would have been the Primaris captain with the Royal Warden, I believe. And the natural playthrough, captain starts first. Interesting how that's going to pan out. So for the space, we've got 1 turn for the Space Marines and then 1 turn for the Necrons. Oh, in fact, it even goes into a 2nd turn of the Space Marines. Who knows? He may have actually lost. Definitely did well, but I can see some wound counters here. So 2 turns actually. Well, 2 turns for the Space Marines and then 1 turn for the Necrons. Definitely not too bad. I'll definitely read through these in my own time just to get a better feel for the mechanics of the game these days. has been a while. Anyway, that pretty much concludes what was in issue number 5. In terms of what's in issue number 6, or was in issue number 6, there will be a bottle of Abaddon Black, and then 3 Primaris aggressors. I will admit, I don't think I would actually get them normally, so it's nice to have them included. Issue 7 will be more paint related with Mechanicus Standard Grey, Corax White, and Retributor Armor for issue 7. That's good, definitely building up the paint collection. So that was pretty much a nice little page through of issue number 5. Now, in terms of the gaming materials, it's actually a bit more lore. So this would actually be an insert for the file binder. So we just have some information about the Necrons and their dynastic hierarchy. So we've got this particular page, another page here. So it looks like it's Necrons and the Eldari. This actually will open up a bit. So there's a nice little section here about the hierarchy of the Necrons. So that's obviously interesting. A lot of this lore didn't exist back in the good old days. So it's nice to see how this pretty much has been fleshed out over the years. And then we just have this nice little open up of Necrons at war, and a nice little showcase of various units. So there's one of the Silent King, Canoptic Constructs, Satan Shards, the various legions of the Necrons. There's Royal Court, I'm assuming some type of HQ units. And the General Armory with monoliths. I believe they're monoliths still. Yes, monoliths have changed over the years as well. Kind of remind me of the Borg. So that's that nice little insert. Now, in terms of the hobby side of things. So, as we know from the front, there is the Primaris Captain. So we do get a base, which, funnily enough, does not have a pre-punched hole in it. So the Captain will need to be glued down. Otherwise, here we have the actual runner for the Captain. So everything in its nice grey glory, very detailed. Obviously, I'm still getting used to a lot of this because, you know, I'm not used to torsos, loincloths, things like that all being together, especially back pieces and shoulder pads. It's all brand new to me. So that's that side. I'm just having a look at the underside of the runner as well. That's very cool. So yes, definitely nice to have that included. So my Marine Army, whatever it will be, will have a captain and a lieutenant. Now, to wrap things up, as I said, this was all through subscriptions, so there were some extra items that came through. So 3 actually, all related to the hobby. So as I mentioned, as we're going through issue number 5, there was a nice reference to the mold knife removal. That's very cool. Be interesting to see how this works. My way of removing mold lines back in the day was probably the back of a X-Acto knife, hobby knife, either. So yeah, very interesting to see how this little tool works. As for the other tools that were included, there were 1 pair of side cutters, which to be honest I'm happy about because it means that my side cutters for my Gunpla and Playmore can stay with that. This I'll use exclusively for 40k. Warhammer in general. Anyway. And then lastly, we actually did get some plastic glue. And oddly enough, I can actually see the glue is still in a nice liquid. So that will be very handy. Saves me having to buy some glue. How long it lasts for remains to be seen. I know with these glues, sometimes the nozzle will pretty much get clogged up, and yeah. But that was a while ago. Things may have changed. I mean, I remember the first time I got the plastic cement glue, it was a little bottle with a brush. Similar to nail polish, to be honest. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the retrospective page through and look through at the issue and contents of Imperium Issue number 5, as well as some additional subscription bonus items from the previous issue. definitely amassing a nice little collection of things. To be honest, I'm glad I now have the tools. I was actually kind of keeping everything in reserve until I hit this point. It does mean I can actually start snipping things out and get myself ever so closer to putting a model together. Still don't know how far I'm going to go. It's been such a long time since I've painted. And even in my final days of painting back in 2008, 2009, I did prefer to multi-bit paint. Probably not the right description for it. Long story short, didn't put everything together, then painted just to make sure I could get some of the hard to reach places that would be otherwise blocked off by arms, capes, etc. But we'll see how things go. Looking at the models now, it's probably a bit less forgiving with deep recessed areas. But as I said, time will tell. Anyway, going to wrap it up there. We've had a nice little chat about this issue. Thank you very much for watching this retrospective video for Imperium Issue 5. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. This all does help support the channel and I do appreciate it. Feel free to check out my Instagram, link in the description. Otherwise, same handles the channel. The 40k stuff will eventually become a bit more known on my Instagram. With that being said, stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in a future video, which will either be Imperium Issue 6 or something else on the channel. See ya.